It's 10:15 this morning. And I'd like to welcome and thank everybody that's here today for our board meeting, April 17, 2024, 10 a.m. We're a little late, but better late than never. Okay, let's call this meeting to order. And we'll go to item 2. Let's proceed with a roll call, please.
Geraldine Stanley, Board Secretary.
Ida Bailey, Investigator Supervisor.
Rena Borja, Member.
Maria Perez, Administrative Officer.
Selena Ashland, Vice Chairwoman.
Ernest Candeleta, Deputy Director. Sitting in for Vince Ariola.
JP Again, Executive Director, CLB.
Bernard Beneventi, Board Chairman.
Marcus Benadia, Investigator, COB.
Andrew Mesa, COB Investigator.
And Aragon, CLB Investigator.
We have the public. Gentlemen, please.
Frank Sosimo, retired warden.
Welcome, Warden.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Manuel Alvarez, Victim.
welcome. Sir,
I'm Romeo Padama, just a workers of Ararat, and they're the house that I worked with before.
welcome
Yes,
to the board
my-
meeting. I know you. Yeah? Do I know you? No? No, the gentleman there.
I guess, sir, because you see me a lot already,
Oh, okay.
and I see you a lot also.
Okay, we're all done with roll call? Okay, item 3, affirmation of the public notice advertised at the Guam Daily Post on Wednesday, 4/10/24 and Monday, 4/15/24. I have in my hands the announcement or the agenda, the board meeting agenda that was published in the newspaper. So let it be known that this is within the legal standards of our meeting. Any questions? Item 4, let's move to item 4. Review of minutes for the board meeting held on February 21st, 2024.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of February 21st, subject to correction.
Second motion? Motion to,
I'll second.
okay. We'll approve the minutes.
All in favor, sir?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're good. No questions on the previous board meeting? Minutes? We're good?
Yes, sir.
Item 5, let's move to item 5, public comments. We have the public present this morning. And Nita, you want to comment on why the gentlemen are here?
Actually, I'm not too sure. They spoke to Investigator Aragon because these 2 cases were assigned to him, and they're both a violation of Ararat construction. So one of my report, Mr. Alvarez case has already been there was already an action taken on Mr. Alvarez case. We issued a citation of $5,000 to Ararat Construction. He had a promissory note and he paid the first payment of that promissory note. but we also issued a warning to that citation. So after that, there was another complaint that was filed by Mr. Crisostomo. So
Okay.
right now, on Mr. Crisostomo's complaint, it's on the AG's office for review, because we're bringing this issue to the board for recommendation for suspension, because this is like the third violation of this particular contractor. But I cannot really discuss further because it's still not served yet to the respondent, and it is still under review by our legal counsel. So once it is reviewed and then served, then Mr. Crisostomo will be notified when will be the hearing for that case. Just in case Ararat is going to dispute, the charges against him, then we will do a hearing. That's when Mr. Francisco, right? Mr. Francisco Crisostomo will be called to testify on that case.
So until then, we should
Until
not
then, we
discuss this
cannot
case.
talk because it's still under review and we haven't served the accusation to Ararat yet. But we are in the process of doing, a recommendation for the suspension of this contractor. Yes, sir.
So,
any?
Before, apologies, but if I may, so is this just a continuation of the case Manuel Alvarez versus Arat Construction, or is that closed and this is?
Ararat is, Mr. Alvarez's case is still open because he was cited, he had a citation of 5,000, but it's not yet fully paid, so we still keep it open until it's fully paid. Yeah.
They're it's the same contractor,
Right.
different
Well,
customer.
Oh, I
different
see.
product,
Okay, so
different
this will be a
client.
separate case.
I don't know if they have something to say, that's why they appeared
They
today.
just asked if it. Go ahead,
They're
Mr.
welcome to make comments.
Yeah, you can.
Please.
Thank you very much. Before we commence, I would like to introduce myself. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity this morning to be heard. My name is Francisco Bautista Crisostomo, a retired prison warden, and also a victim. And the reason why I'm here, because I refer this human being, not knowing that he have these criminal elements or criminal is running a criminal enterprise, and they have to stop this man because he continued to defraud the people of Guam. I am here because I refer that this man here, not knowing the integrity of this human being, he's new to this island. And I refer this man to my cousin here, my brother, Mr. Manuel Alvarez, and I'm very ashamed. Because he was very promising. When I was looking for a contractor, he was very promising with the good price. And he even swore to my son that's currently in the Middle East in a war zone that's going to complete the project in 3 months.
Right.
7 months passed, he requested for extension, and the extension reason is that he is waiting for a big contract from an SPA from another person, which I don't think that thing materialized. And the reason why that's his excuse, so he can hire people to complete my project, which initially is only 3 months. He returned back to my house in March 12th of 2024 by himself. Then another Russian person came in about 2 hours. On that afternoon hours, they went for lunch, never came back.
Okay.
I went down to my attorney, Mitchell Thompson, with Mr. Alvarez, and I was advised to file a complaint here immediately on the 13th, which I did.
Okay.
And I have the complaint here, sir.
Right.
And the thing is, I am here, and again, I want to thank everyone here for hearing this. I am very ashamed to my cousin here, man, because I thought this man was a priest. I thought he was a good citizen.
Right.
But he defrauded the people of Guam, and even I myself, for $56,000.
Okay.
And all I asked the investigator is I want 2 things, and I cannot be denied I asked for a receipt of the 56,000 that he swallowed from me. Not only that, he violated the terms of agreement. And it's very good, it's very sweet in his presentation, but on the rear, it's sour like a vinegar.
Right.
He stated here, on this agreement that was signed on August 23rd, 2023, sir, agreement number 010085, terms 3 months. Okay, this is the contract that he signed, and he signed also on me, and he stated here, the client paid 50,000 or 50%, $32,000 I gave him in cold cash. And the remaining at the end of the project, he violated the same thing because he knew, he begged, okay, for additional money to be given to him to pay. Every time they pour, they said, I need money, Mr. Fireman, please help me kneeling. Okay? Pay $10,000, another $10,000, until he accumulated up to 56,000. He violated the condition, and I'm a very good citizen. And I took that because I thought he was a priest, but he is a pure criminal and a chronic liar.
Yes, sir.
And I want to share this thing to the board. Stop this man, so he will continue to defraud the people of Guam. I am a victim, a retired professional man.
Yes, sir.
36 years, 23 years as a prison warden. He did that to me. And I'm very ashamed to my cousin here, because I refer Ararat to him. And look at now, I'm facing this man. Not only that, here's another person here that worked at my house that was not paid for a period of 6 days. Right here, this Filipino worker. Thank you very much for hearing this information, and I hope and pray that this justice that is served to this man, and I want to see him behind bars, and he's very lucky I'm retired.
We understand. Yes.
And I know that some of you people know my background.
Yes.
When I was up there, man. Discipline and control.
Right.
No remorse. He's
Yes,
very
sir.
lucky that I retired. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you very much.
testimony.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
My
Alvarez.
name is Manuel Alvarez. Thank you for allowing me to sit here. I filed a complaint on December 18 against Ararat because we signed a contract to build a 2-bedroom house for $99,000, and he said I needed to deposit $30,000 up front, and I gave him the money. I have a cashier's check here from the bank addressed to him. So when he did the project, he promised that he will be the one to get me my building permit,
Right.
because I don't know anything about. I'm just a client. I got the money from FEMA for disaster. They give you one-time money. So they gave me $41,000 to reconstruct my house because it's totally demolished.
Right.
So I gave him $30,000, and then he came back about a month later and he says, on the blueprint I had a Cristobal Associates, or Andy Cristobal,
Andy Cristobal.
architect.
Yes.
He's my brother-in-law. He's the one who designed the 2-bedroom house for me. So I gave him the $30,000, and then when the building, I don't know what material is required to build a house. So on our contract, he put 6-inch block on our contract. So he says the blueprint requires a 4-inch block, or a wider block, 8 by 16.
Yeah.
Because that's the requirement through the blueprint and through the DPW.
The building code.
Yeah, the building code. So he asked for another $2,400 to compensate the 6-inch block to the 8-inch.
How much?
Another $22,400. Yeah, I told him, I said, that's not my mistake. You're you're the contractor, you're supposed to know these things. He says, but I need the money because he said he's gonna charge me for the labor because of the weight of the block.
Okay.
So he says that, so I didn't know, I says, well, maybe it's a little bit heavy. So anyways, I gave him that money and for a total of $32,400. He did the foundation. I asked him, I said, the blueprint is not out yet because it takes time to do an actual blueprint, an architect.
Right.
And he says, I'm gonna go ahead and, since I got the money, I'm gonna go ahead and dig the foundation because I already know the measurement. So, I was happy.
And there was no
This guy-
permit.
Yeah, no permit yet. I said, I'm waiting for the blueprint because you need a blueprint to submit to Public Works, right, to get a permit. Anyways, he started the project and then he bought materials and he put rebars and 2x4 and a few cement blocks. And I had 2 piles of gravel that's existing there because I was in the process of finishing my house that got damaged. So I noticed that he was using my material. I said, why are you using this material? It has nothing to do with the project. He says, I'll repay it back. I said, no, I did not authorize you. So we already had friction. So one day he bought the rebar and it was dumped there, 2-ton rebar, 3 different kinds, number 4, 5, and number 3. So I found his employee loading up the rebar on his truck one morning. I said, where are you going with that? He said, I'm going to take it to another project. I said, that's my rebar. I paid for that. So the next day I called him, I said, I want my receipts. Show me what did my money buy.
Yes.
He never gave me the receipts. So I told him, I said, our contract from October to February, and 120 days. Anyways, when I started finding that he was taking material from my premise, I told him, there's a big sign there, no trespassing, you cannot come back here anymore.
Right.
So he came back later and took the mesh wire, which I took pictures of it before. And I texted him, I said, why did you steal the mesh wire? He says, that belongs to me. So he admitted that he's the one who took it. Aside from that, I'm a family of 5. So I ended up, my building is metal. I built a 10 by 20 foot container and we're living there now.
Right.
Forced me, I had no choice because I was paying big rent, $2,000 a month somewhere else, and I needed a place. So I used the remainder of that $41,000 to pay the rent from FEMA. So I'm broke. I'm nothing now.
Right. So how far did the project get?
Just the liner of the foundation and a few rebars, but no slab on the, just tampering, and then that's it.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, I got another contractor, and I said, can you give me an estimate of how much work is done here? And he says, maybe about, I can give 5,000 to 7,000 maybe at the most. So when I filed a complaint, the investigator tried to help me, could recommend that I get the contractor pay me some money back. So he made a settlement agreement through the help of Aaron, Mr. Aaron, to pay me $10,000, and he signed it. And I did not sign that settlement agreement because I know that I'm gonna be chasing this guy for that $10,000, and I don't wanna settle right then and there because it's not fair.
Right.
Only 5,000 to 7,000 worth of work, and he's only gonna pay me back 10,000. So he tried to sneak his way in and out of the situation. So
Is he still coming around to the site?
no, I told him that I filed a complaint at the police because he was coming there stealing the material back. So I sit here and wonder what more can I say as being a victim. And I ask the board to please consider very hard that this guy has no intention of doing good deeds to the customer.
Right.
Because there's other customers that I know of that he built something but hasn't filed a complaint yet, hasn't finished the project. 2 more customers
Okay.
that I know of, but I cannot elaborate on that because they don't file a complaint. And I ask the board to please take away this guy's license because he's still out there practicing. He's still trying to, one of his workers, he's a Russian employee. This guy is Russian and I've heard that he's here on island on, what do you call that, when you run away from your country for prosecution?
Asylum.
Asylum, political, he's here on asylum, and I was just wondering, what are requirements to get a business license? I know he has a right, because here they authorize him with asylum, but we don't know where this guy come from. I mean, what his history is. He just came here on island and filed for asylum,
Right.
and then he's out there victimizing people. So I just asked the board to please consider that to take this guy's license away. So there's no more victims sitting in front of you complaining that he duped them for thousands of dollars. And I'm still suffering from the effect of his deed. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Alvarez.
You go. Yeah, you go and say why you're here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Actually, I don't know what I'm here. He just invited me, my 2 boss, because I'm the one who building their house. And I'm only a part-timer for Ararat company because I retired already and I need to exercise. That's why I'm still working part-time. And now I know what Mr. the one in
Alvarez.
what's your name, sir?
Manny Alvarez.
Albert. I heard that what is complaining about the one in their foundation, and I'm the one descended there to fix their problem.
Okay.
And the one that I see in the small skate, the skate sheet, that only 6 inch they're supposed to put or 4 inch black. And I lay out that to put 8 inch black. And then the layout they make, the one who did first, is not in the square and is not in the measurement. I'm the one who fix everything. And then all the rebars that they need, I'm the one who tell to the boss that this the kind of block rebar gonna put. Every corner of the block, there's 2 number 5 every corner. That's 3. That's 6 number 5 supposed to be. And every opening you need to put 2 number 5.
Right.
And in between that's number 4.
Oh.
And then every 2 layer supposed to put number 3 for horizontal because they don't have the door wall now.
Right.
And when the boss tell me why my boss Ararat, because I was working part-timer for long, why you changing all this? I said, no, because I see it's, the sketch depict, that's the plan, the copy of the plan. It says there, and even I don't have that, I know what I'm doing.
Just
I said,
Okay. Go ahead.
Sir, what's your name again?
Romeo Padama.
Okay.
I guess you guys know me already because I got friend before working also here.
Mr. Romy, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we already have ordered a cease and desist order for this project, okay?
Yes.
When we had a citation, when we served it to the Ararat, Mr. Lores, we already had a cease and desist, so this project is not going anywhere because there is no approved plan, no permit and everything like
No
that.
more
I know
work.
that, ma'am.
So there's no more
They
work.
just invite me.
I know. So, I know it's gonna be very hard for Mr. Alvarez because all the money there that, you know, that was gone already. It might, this work that you did, it might not even continue because we don't know what's gonna be the design that will be approved by DPW. So, I cannot say farther, you know,
What Ms. Nita is saying is no more work on that project.
No
If,
more
if the investigator
Yes, I'm not
cooperate,
working with them anymore.
they can have a citation to the owner of the home, so no
I
more work.
quit
on the
also, even they didn't pay me
Yeah.
for 12 days, 15 days.
Yeah.
I quit.
That's the question. The Ararat is the one that's in default or whatever, but you are owed 15 days pay from Ararat?
Department
Now,
of
I'm not collecting to
No, no,
you
no.
guys.
No,
You
you are,
just invite me to come
No, no,
over
no.
here.
the Ararat Construction owes you 15 days?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, that's what we wanna know, cause it's gonna be part of the package for
yeah.
citation to him, okay? So that's what we wanna clear. You are owed 15 days, correct?
Yes.
On record. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Romeo.
Sir?
I guess it's still under investigation. So, let's not comment anymore. We know all the facts until we get results back. And then we can, schedule another meeting. Okay? I would like to thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Masi.
Eso es más, todos.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Let's move on to section reports. Any questions so far? Okay, let's go to the section reports, Administrative Division, and we got Maria Perez. Go ahead, Rita.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We used to have our expenditures for our office, but at this time, our office we're not able to use our AS400. We're using a new process, which I don't have access to that at this time. So, as of March 16, we have a total of 7 new licenses. There are a total of 957 active contractors, 28 inactive contractors, 34 master electrician, and the total amount is 1,119. As you can see, there are the 7 new ones, which is RN Builders Corporation. It was a sole proprietor, changed to Corp. Readiness Management Support LLC, JC Construction Ventures, Guam JMC LLC, not sure how to pronounce this yet, Consultant Inc., and JC Can AC Services, and Stephen Carter. Those are all the licenses for your review that were approved.
I'm seeing a large number, an increase on contractors or licensed contractors. Would you say this would, because of the base projects, or are we just having a lot of construction outside in the public?
SBA went through.
A lot of people are saying that right now there are projects on base, but some of them are coming out to try and get their license, so it helps them out on their gross receipts tax, because there's a law that says you need a contractor's license number in order for you not to, so you can defer your taxes to your subcontractors if you have a contractor's license number, not a GRT number. It has to be a contractor's license number.
Okay. All right. Okay, is that all we have for today, for now?
For now, yes, sir.
I had a question.
Go
Is
ahead.
it something about, what do you need the AS400 for? Dollar, are you trying to do
The
a dollar
AS400
number?
is our revenue and expenditures, but we have a new system and we're, the government-wide
Yes,
is, it's like reverting and learning, starting all over a new system. So we
Right.
used to have the AS400, example, the requisition's already there, it's there, we just key it in. Now we have to manually do everything ourselves. We even do.
Ms. Rena, according to the director of DOA, there is like 9 actual systems working individually, and now this new system is supposed to have them all
Integrated?
entwined. Yes, and so according to the last meeting that he had was they're getting they're just the last, let's say 20% of the items that they need to put in there, but it's a lot of working issues that they have right now. But once they get over that hill and it starts running, the different nine different systems running together as one, it will pay off in the long run, because now they're all talking to each other, as opposed to all 9 individual processes working individually, and they're not communicating. That's according to DOA's, but they're having their challenges. They're having their challenges with GSA, with payroll.
Yeah.
So they're all trying to work through that. That's according to the DOA director.
Yeah,
So,
you're talking to a retired IBMer.
yeah.
That was an
Yeah.
AS400 person.
Yeah.
So, forget all that, all I was more concerned is, we do know how much money we made year to date, right?
Yes,
With
yes,
all
yes.
the fines and whatnot, and how many, that's pretty much.
Yes. Oh.
'Cause we do have something from before the
Correct.
whole thing went kaboom, right? So we have that, so just
Yeah.
from that to, I guess what it is what we did year to date under the old system, and then just what we are showing today, we can actually probably do that on a spreadsheet.
She
Yeah.
can do that on her
Yeah,
own. Yes.
so it's basically, I know we're gonna get to that about
Yeah.
rates,
Right.
so it's just kinda like, I know we've improved over the year how much money we made, just for this little agency. So it's kinda like we like to see that continue,
Yes.
so that way we have more meat
Yes.
to go forth with whatever you're planning on doing.
Right. Right.
So if you can have that for the next meeting, I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy, it's whatever you had from before, add on each month we've had, and that would be good enough.
Yes. I track
No,
you where you're going with that.
We've been trying it, it's just like even just simple things such as payroll, we had
Oh, yeah.
a struggle with that.
Yeah, I understand all the ills of computers, but you can because we're small enough, they can probably still do it on a manual basis. It doesn't have to be right on, it's the estimated, so we can kind of have an idea going
Yes.
forth with what you're gonna be
Yes.
doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Maria hasn't even heard about what we're gonna do
Yeah,
yet.
so that's why I just said,
Yes.
he has plans.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Joe.
Alright, thanks, Maria.
okay, no questions so far. Yeah,
No.
we'll move on to number 2, Investigation Division, and Nita, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Our report for investigation section, this covers February and March because we didn't have meeting on March. So the open cases, we have 7, closed 3, number of citations 5, amount of fines to date 95,000, and the building permits is 144. On the 7 open cases, number 1, case number 2021-0904, Idilaw GMI versus Menzies. This is an unlicensed contractor. We have issued a citation and we are still pending a hearing. Okay?
Yes. On that update, we just found out yesterday that we do now have an attorney representing CLB. Our attorney's name is Attorney Miller from the AG's office. So now that we have an attorney that's going to represent that case, we're hoping that we move forward with this case.
Okay.
I know it's one of the older cases we've had. So
It seems to be dragging, but
yes.
Yeah.
So we just got that word yesterday that we got an attorney assigned to this case for us,
For us,
for our side.
Because
Mr. Miller, yes.
Yeah.
feedback on it?
Norman Miller.
Oh, it's a different, okay, it's
Yes.
different
Not
Miller.
Sandra.
Oh,
Yeah, not Sandra, it's
Norman
Norman Miller,
Miller.
yes.
Okay.
because I guess our legal term is conflicted or something, so
Yeah.
there's a new one assigned to us.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Just a little background to Mr. Miller, he's actually the one that reviewed our rules and regulations at the AG's office, and he was pretty swift about it, and he went through it, reviewed it, pushed it forward, and then we grabbed it, sent it to Adelup, they were pretty fast with it, so, just, he knows a little bit already about COB, he
Alright.
reviewed all our rules and regs.
Okay.
Okay, so number 2, case number 2023-0302, Mark Parks versus Genwa Construction. This is a septic and leaching field issue. Investigation is still ongoing because the parties have their own attorneys now disputing on all the results of the agency's approval. So we haven't heard from Mr. Parks because he's the one supposed to get independent company to do the inspection instead of like the contractor has his own and stuff like that. So they're getting an independent
Engineer?
engineer to inspect it. So it's still ongoing. And then number 3, case number 2023-0602 and case number 2024-0202. These are both one person only. It's unlicensed work. She was licensed before, but her license was revoked, and I think she's going back again to doing work, and there were complaints filed. So we were able to serve the notice to appear to her, but she did not come to appear, of course. So what we did, we just went ahead and issued the citation anyway, and the citation was already served to her, but she hasn't came in again, for the update of the citation. So Mr. Mesa is the investigator assigned and is making a follow-up on this when the citation is going to be
Is
paid.
this individual still on island or?
Yeah,
she
she's
left?
in Ireland. She's still, the last time when Andrew knows the
Yeah,
place.
I hand delivered it to her home, the
She was there?
citation.
Yeah,
She
she's
was
there.
home.
She signed off
She signed
Yeah,
that
she
she
did.
received the citation, she
Okay.
noticed.
and she hasn't come back to us.
She
To make
hasn't
the
come
payment
back
on the
to
citation.
pay.
What's the fine?
I think,
The fines was, with Mr. Kitu and Elsa, it was 4,500, and with the Tenorios, it is 14,500.
because it's 50% because she's unlicensed.
So how do we know she's not doing that on the side again?
The sad thing about that, German, is that with her, she's been dodging investigators, and she's been kind of not cooperating with our investigators. So to answer your question, we can never really know if she's doing work outside privately on her own, unlicensed. Because today she is unlicensed, she shouldn't be doing any project. But to answer your question, we won't know unless somebody comes in and makes another complaint. And for I say about a whole 2 months, Andrew's been trying to get a hold of this individual. He got lucky the first time, and then the second time, after that, no communication. Phone calls, not answering, no return calls, appointments made, not kept. So
there's money involved, money was paid out to her also?
Yes.
And the project was never done, plus she's unlicensed? I feel this is a criminal activity.
Yeah, so we advised actually the complainants to go to GPD to report this for
Yes.
theft of deception. Because
Has that been done?
that's the other avenue that they can,
No?
I can form the complainants to
Please.
GPD.
We can't
Yeah.
force the individual to go to
Yeah.
GPD,
Yeah, but-
especially if they have knowledge, they have personal knowledge between the two of them, they're not gonna. And that's the hard part, is we can only protect, we can always say we won't give her a license if she does go through the process, but we can't do
Limited.
anything else to force the people, or
But on
those
our-
are complaining.
Yeah.
We
On
can,
our
al-
side.
on our side, we can only,
Advise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
of
recommend,
course.
yeah.
We can go to send to AG's office.
But we can escalate this to the AG's office because there is fines that are due to us as a government agency and then, you know, it's tax
Yeah.
season right now, you know, if there is a refund or anything, they can,
Hold it.
they can hold it,
So,
issue things like that.
That's our
So
next
I
step.
think we need to
That will be the
escalate
next
it.
step because
Yeah.
it's actually in the citation, it says there that we will forward it to the AG's office.
Okay,
Yes.
so-
You know, well, there's an intent to defraud,
Mm-hmm,
so that's criminal,
mm-hmm.
It's a felony.
But that's an individual, that,
okay?
they need to.
So both of the citations that are issued, there was a cease and desist from Mrs. Regis to perform any construction work until she obtains a license from our office.
Permitted license.
So there, she's fully aware.
So we have not closed, no citation, she has not come in?
Paid.
She hasn't
Paid.
paid.
Payment on this.
She received
they're
it, but she,
issued but not
it was
paid.
issued, she received, but she did not come in yet to pay, so the next step probably we will just send it to the AG's office for, you know, injunction or whatever action, you know, the AG will do.
Well, we need as soon as possible,
Yes.
submit that to the AG, we gotta get aggressive.
Sure, we will. Okay, so number 5, case number 2024-0105, Ronald Nesbitt versus RPG Construction. This is a warranty issue and they're working on the punch list. It's a little bit slow because the complainant is only available on weekends. So the contractor is cooperating, but it's a matter of time for the complainant themselves. But it's almost
It's just right at the end, they have one
Yeah,
more issue with the.
hopefully by next month, it will be closed. Oh, so number 6, case number 2024-0203, Manuel Alvarez versus Arad Construction. So this one was already discussed, no building permit. We issued a citation with warning to Arad Construction. And he has a promissory note. The citation was $5,000 and he already paid $2,000 out of that promissory note.
we can't do anything on his license, right? Because he's paying his
Yeah,
fine.
but he will be subject to suspension revocation once that accusation for the other case that he did will be reviewed by our legal.
Yeah, and you can fine him for the second one, but
Mhm.
in order for these two gentlemen to recover their 50, their 40 or whatever, they have to go through, the AGs are their own lawyers, we can't get involved in that part, but
That's right.
just what we can fine him for
Mhm.
the business,
Yeah, we fined him 5,000 for this one.
that's all we can do.
That's all that we can do. On the next one, the board could add
Suspend.
another fine and then revoke or suspend when the case is finished reviewing by
We're
the,
recommending a 6 month in that one, particularly the second case, right, with,
well, the board will see the severity when we present it and they will decide, suspend or revoke.
right,
Maybe revoke, I don't know.
right.
Maybe revoke.
It's coming, it's coming down the pike, it just has to be reviewed right now with our attorney, but it'll be meeting the board. Hopefully, by next, meeting,
Yeah.
you'll have that case in front of you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have 3 cases that we closed. Case number 2022-0901, Krista Perez versus Genoa Construction. This is the septic tank and leaching field issues. It has been corrected. So we closed it. Number 2, case number 2024-0201, Joseph Cruz versus Abad Construction. It is a site clearing, but we didn't find any violation because Mr. Abad was not the one that did the clearing for this particular site that he complained.
So Joseph Cruz is a complainant,
Yeah,
so Abad,
Abad is not the one that did the
so who
clearing.
cleared it?
They hired another, actually this is under Hangout Builders. But Mr. Joseph Cruz was thinking that it was Abad's construction that did the clearing, but it wasn't Abad. There was another equipment company.
I can explain more in
Yeah.
the next.
Marcus can elaborate.
I can elaborate in the next.
Because we're gonna go on to the next one with this Hangout anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so, number 3, case number 2024-0301, TLB versus Hebron Construction, no building permit. We issued a citation and the citation was paid. This is the paving of that, parking area in, Media. So they paid the citation, they
Okay.
know that they need to get a permit. They went to Public Works and get the permit.
It's en route. I signed that last week, I think.
Yeah.
The permit.
So we have number 3, this is a case presentation by investigator Marcos Pinonia. This is case number 2023-0903, Joe Cruz versus Hangout Builders. We will be recommending for the suspension of license of this particular person and, the owner of Hangout Builders. So Mr. Pinonia is going to present to the board why he will be recommending for the suspension of license of this person.
So is it in this one for these?
He attached brief summary of the case.
You have it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The brief summary. You got the brief.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Pinonia.
Good morning, board. Does everyone have that copy of the brief summary?
This one?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Sorry, but I'm a bit nervous. My first time presenting this kind of suspension. So we recommended suspension. This case started out, let's just go back to the connection with that site clearing from the case that we closed with Mr. Joe Cruz and Abads. Mr. Abad's name is involved because Mr. Harrison Abad is the RME for Hangout Builders. And I think Mr. Joseph Cruz was confused of who did the actual clearing in the beginning of the project. But it was not Abad's Construction, it was always Hangout Builders. Okay, and then, so this case, the complainant came in September 2023. This project started back in December of 2022. Their contract said the project should have been finished March of 2023, and it was not finished, it was not completed. Mr. Joey Cruz gave extensions to Hangout Builders, continuous extensions. We had that typhoon which delayed the project even more. But even with all the delays, it still wasn't moving at all on schedule. And the complaint came in September of 23. They explained to us all the delays, materials, labor, the typhoon. So we gave Hangout Builders a somewhat final extension from our office. We told them to, they both agreed, both parties agreed. The homeowners were not exactly happy, but at the end of the day, they just wanted their home done. So we gave Hangout Builders to complete the project by December of 2023.
When did you do your site investigation?
Oh, our site investigation, we conducted that October 16th. At the site investigation, that's when we agreed that the Hangout Builders will complete the project by December. So we gave them about 60 more days to complete the project. I asked Hangout Builders, is this enough time for completion? They said, yes, it is. I asked the homeowners, Mr. Cruz and Mr. Fisher, is it acceptable? And they said they weren't happy about it, but they just wanted the house done. And so we gave them that opportunity. They didn't pull through. So after the site investigation, they even had their engineer have his input. They had some discrepancy about a retaining wall and that whole. It was a big issue. So we found out eventually that there were no inspections done. And that's what prompted us to issue the citation as well.
No inspection done by Public Works?
By Public Works, correct. And that was in a meeting with Hangout Builders in December 18th. Where we discovered that there were no inspections done. And so after December was finished, they still didn't complete the project. The homeowners decided to try to make a settlement with Hangout to just buy the property out from them. Hangout Builders responded, they said they're a small company, they don't have the resources to buy that property out to settle. So
This project is a whole house or
Yeah.
renovation?
it's a new home construction
Single dwelling.
In Tampo.
in Talafofu.
Public Works been out there to see this?
Only after we informed DPW that there's no inspection.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's a violation of the building law.
right.
Okay.
And then, so, after no response from the settlement, we did issue Hangout Builders the citation on, what's this? I wanna say February.
They make any payment?
February 7th,
That's
citation $5,000 for Hangout Builders.
Correct. February 7th, that's when we issued.
Yeah.
Then they came in, then Mr. Harrison Abad, disassociated himself from this company. As of February 8th, this company, Hangout Builders, has no RME. February 20, the owner, Miss Marife Pepito, came in and requested that she sign a promissory note for payments for her citation. And we allowed that, but since then she has not came in. I've sent her numerous reminders about it and she still has no response back
So
to
Nita,
date.
so Nita, the recommendation is to suspend her license?
Suspend, yeah.
For how long? Forever?
It's up to the board, maybe,
Let's
year.
do it, let's move on to this so we can get control of it.
Also there was another contractor that came in last week with another complaint about this individual's company non-payment to
How,
him.
how long have they been in business, the business license?
I think this is going on 2 years only.
Yeah.
What's a new company?
Fairly new, yeah.
This is a sole proprietor with an RME, so she's not really a licensed contractor, she's just hiring, licensed, RMEs to help her with her project. So she does not have any knowledge whatsoever, just for her to continue and for also the RME continue doing this without an inspection from DPW. All these things did not happen
Can we make a recommendation to suspend her upon her meeting with the board before re-issuing? I say suspend it until she meets with the board, the minimum 6 months, and before approval, approved by the board, but her to come in and meet the board before we reissue another license. So to say 6 months is suspension, but it's not automatically reissued, it's actually meeting the board members and then.
And she has to pay her citation
Yeah,
also.
pay citation, make everything right, and then still get approval
Yes,
with the board.
yes.
If the RME has had knowledge or knew about what was going on, I think this dominoes to the RME.
Possibly.
Also, to answer that question, sir, this is gonna,
The
Mr.
third
Harrison
RME.
is her third RME since
She's
she's
just
opened up her
bouncing around
company.
looking for RMEs.
So
Yeah.
RMEs come
Yeah.
and go, or within 2 years, she had 3 RMEs
RMEs.
total.
I suggest that we suspend her license, don't give her the 6 months. Suspend the license until she brings current or she goes before the board. Don't give her a time frame.
Currently, she has no RME at the moment, so
Correct,
she
so that
shouldn't
means
even
her
be-
license should be suspended
Okay.
Right.
until she comes to talk to us about how she can fix her problem. Cause
Yes.
I think she's just, it's just a fly-by-night kind of operation.
Yeah, and it's substantial,
We
it's
don't need
about
any more of those.
200
Nice.
some thousand.
So,
It is indefinite suspension.
so what?
Is that we have to make a motion?
Take
Yes.
action.
Yeah.
Motion to suspend the license.
Do you motion?
All in favor?
The motion to suspend license for
All in
Hangout
favor?
Builders,
Yeah.
Marife Pepito.
A second.
Okay.
Suspend. With no
Suspend
passport.
until she
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Until she meets with the board and squares all her fees.
All
All
in
her
favor?
fees for.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion approves.
Nice, good job. Good job, Marcus.
Thanks, Marcus.
Okay. No questions? Okay, now we have with no questions, we'll move on to the director's report.
Okay,
Go ahead, sir.
good afternoon. Just an update on the adjudication, the rules and regulations. Thank you all, members of the board and, employees of CLB for all the hard work they've been doing. Where we at with the adjudication, it was reviewed by the AG's office, sent over to Adelup, reviewed, signed by the governor, our governor, and then picked up and then delivered to the speaker of, the legislature. Right now, I would say it's a roughly almost 2 weeks since the speaker received it. As far as the requirements, it will be received by the speaker and then delivered over to the to Senator Kanata, because that's our oversight. So that's where it's at. This morning I had the chance to talk to our oversight chair for the reconfirmation of Ms. Rena Borja, and he informed me that when they send it to him, there will be a public hearing, and then of course given an opportunity for any questions. So we'll be prepared for that. So that's where the rules and regulations are at. We're almost there. A few more steps.
2 more steps for final approval.
Yes. Yes.
So, when he was with me this morning, kind of recommend that, he follows up with a letter to the speaker, because
Yeah.
it's in her office. So he can do a follow-up, and we board members, when we see the speaker every now and then, we can ask her, where is our
Yes,
our
exactly.
rules and
Yeah.
regulations at?
So that will happen today. We'll send a letter to the speaker and yes, if you please drop in a few words for CLP. A second also, I was we are, Ms. Nita, investigator CLB, were able to put together 2 separate exams, updating our exams. One is for engineering, then the other one is for general building. So each of the individual board members have you can open it up and review it for approval.
Confidential.
Were you going to discuss the second item?
No,
Okay.
yeah, I was just gonna go with this first. So,
So this is the new business?
this is the new business list. If you're gonna open it up, these are the first exams, if you will, that according to our the findings of that we have to update our exams, so this is the first 2 exams. There was a lot of work from Ms. Nita and the crew. If you have any questions, you can.
I know there was a lot of work put into this, and we leave it to your capable hands, aside from the chair and the vice chair, they're probably up on the terminologies. But I looked at it from my, whatever I can think of, and you want us to approve?
Yes.
So you can continue with these, and then we can go to your part 2 of your.
Yes.
So I make a motion that we approve the proposed updated COB general engineer and general building exams.
Sure.
This will go to effect immediately. We will pull out the all exams that were being utilized, and these are all updated to what is being utilized out in the field today. It's a big day. It's a big day.
So this will be approved by the board.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Oh, you need a second,
second.
sir.
Second motion.
Just a quick question
I'm
for,
sorry.
okay, so these are 40 questions, so, you're going to, when you're administering the test, obviously you'll have different, you're gonna jumble the,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
So they'll be
typically have
different.
about
Okay.
4
Right.
different
Yeah,
test
yeah.
booklets.
okay. And then, all the codes are based on what years? Because I know some of the codes we follow older versions
Right.
here in Guam. So I just wanna make sure that they're all aligned with what.
We are on IBC 2009, we are
Okay.
still, and then we have added actually the newest one, the Tropical Energy Code. That is the latest that was added to the IBC. That was just implemented a couple of months ago. So it's incorporated already on
Yes.
the P,
Yes.
the GTEC, the
That's correct.
Tropical
Yeah.
Energy Code. So it's already there. So we are on the new millennium now.
Any questions on this? Anybody have a question on the approved?
No, I will second Nina's motion to approve these updated exams for.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Okay.
motion approved.
Thank you, good, thank you. Going back, this is like new business. I just wanna put out, on this table, for the board members to think about. Our fees have remained the same for the last, Ms. Nina, maybe more than 20 years. We have not adjusted our fees. So, this discussion should be under, new business. What we're gonna be doing here in our office, and Ms. Rena was alluding to Maria about finding justifications to research on how much from the past we've been charging, how many licenses we've been giving out, and where we at with our fees. So we know we have to justify raising our fees. I can't just say, oh, we haven't raised our fees for the past 20 years, and that's why we wanna raise the fees. We need to be more substantiated on our explanation on why we wanna raise our fees.
Sure.
So, I just wanna put that on the board, it's just so that you guys have something to think about. You can call us up if you have any ideas, but, we have to do our homework. Maria is gonna have to do a lot of that as far as the administrative side to find, the data that's gonna support our reason for raising our fees. So, it's not gonna be here, I just don't wanna, bring it up next month and, at least give you guys time to think about it, so when we have something to present, at least by next month have something to look at, some data to look at, we can start to formulate. I know it's gonna take a couple of meetings before it's approved at the board level, but, we're gonna shoot for that, and when we do, approve, with the board, then we can introduce it to the legislature. And it has to be approved in the legislature,
Right.
but this is the first time we're talking about it around this table. And then we'll go back and do our homework on our data search and have something for you to work on and move forward from there. It's gonna take a couple of meetings before we get there, but at least something to think about. And give me a call if you have any ideas on that, as far as but we're shooting for raising our fees.
He and I had a discussion, and the one thing about it is, for 20 years, I mean, everybody gets a raise, everybody gets, gas prices keep going up, everything goes up, and that's not to say, just because that's happening, that we're gonna raise our rates, but yeah, I know Maria's gonna have to do homework on here, but let's say 30 years ago, this was the fee, and we haven't moved. And, you know, just like all these things we're adopting, the rules and regulations, things change, and we need to change with that. And so, with the data that we have to look at how much we're charging, and it becomes people that are doing fly-by-night operations and they get away with it. Some of those things that we as a board need to be cognizant about, that prices are going up. We need to do that, and it's just to say because the last 20 years we haven't raised the rates that we're gonna do that. But we have to, because the employees need to survive, we need to survive, and you gotta do that. Yeah, so we need to to do that, so.
Right.
I think this is where they do their work and we get to review and then put in our
Yes.
2 cents.
We need to adjust accordingly.
Yeah, correct.
Even just like the exam fee, it's only $50, and if you get exam to GCC or it's $250.
Right.
That's an example. And that's a real example.
I believe our fees are very low compared to other areas, other states and other entities.
That's why it's easy to get a license.
Huh?
All these people getting licenses because it's so cheap.
Sure,
And
sure.
that shouldn't be.
Right. Okay, any questions so far?
Thank you, everybody. That's enough. That's not enough.
Thank you.
That's all I have. I know that's what you guys are saying. That's enough.
Any questions on the table? Anything, anybody wanna add anything, investigator? Mr. Candeleta? Okay, you good?
Thank you for joining us on this meeting.
Okay.
Hey, thank you, staff. I know you guys are few and you run all over the island. So thank you for
We
your
need
hard work.
another vehicle.
No double teaming.
Director? Maria, another vehicle? What's our options?
Not now.
Not now?
No, honestly, our CLB staff is working hard, but we need to work harder. That's the reality of it. We can't just have an answer or we don't have it or we can't. We have to find a way to get it done. And that's just what we have to do.
Are they using their personal vehicles to go out and check?
Not the investigators, but there are times when things need to happen and the investigators are out and then they have to use their personal vehicle, yes.
And you're reimbursing them for their mileage?
Not right now, no.
And why is that?
Right now, we haven't, actually the question wasn't never asked with me, at least with that, but something we can look into.
Yeah,
Something we
would you?
can-
Because I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
And if something were to happen to them while they're working.
Right.
Because we only have 2. If the truck breaks down, we only have 1, and then.
Correct, but if you're gonna be using, if you're gonna have them
Right.
doing official work on their
Yeah.
personal, using their personal
Right.
vehicles,
So
you need
this
to
would be a
reimburse them.
part of justifying the
Right.
increase of fees
Right.
because we have an operational
Right,
necessity.
right, oh,
Um,
yes, yes, that's, thank you, yeah, nobody asked for that, actually.
Hello?
But yeah, no, that's good, thank you.
Okay, so last on the agenda, the announcement, we will schedule a regular board meeting for May 15th, 2024 at 10 a.m. And it's right now 11:23, and this meeting is adjourned.
First and second, sir?
At first.
Second? Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, good meeting, thank you, everybody.